twist in oxen palm trade tussle. Government to pay 38 million kina this week. Bolt makes triple in Rio.
This is National EMTV News with Mary Bartolo.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for Sunday's news. The disagreement between Papua New Guinea and Fiji regarding the trading of oxen palm has taken a new twist. This follows a letter from the National Agriculture Quarantine and Inspection Authority of Papua New Guinea stating oxen palm does not possess any biosecurity risk as claimed by Fiji. PNG Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maru said Fiji continues to disrespect the trading relationship with Papua New Guinea and is not in the true spirit of the MSG. However, Minister Maru said PNG will not tolerate such accusations but will continue to open up more inter-trade routes with MSG countries. In the last 7 days, a string of major criminal activities in Port Moresby have been reported to police, starting with the death of a man at 8 Mile, allegedly shot by police, the arrest of a bomb threat suspect at Jackson's International Airport, and the nasty road accident at Poraporana Freeway that claimed the life of a security guard. All these crimes are not related, but police have cautioned Port Moresby residents to be vigilant when moving around the city.
Last Saturday, the late Ira Ora was killed after police fired gunshots to disperse the crowd at 8 Mile. Ora's death was a result of a dispute over the piece of land behind the Port Moresby Golf Club between the developer, Jeffrey Kennedy, and the settlers. Last Monday morning, a group of men robbed the Crown Plaza Hotel in town. Police have since arrested 3 men in relation to the hold-up. That evening, fisherman Hani was killed meters away from the Port Moresby harbour after sea pirates stole his boat's engine. His 8-year-old son jumped off the boat, swam to Ella Beach and reported the matter. Hani's body was recovered last Tuesday afternoon. And just on Friday, a security guard identified as Paro Kusi was killed when he crossed the Poraporana Freeway. He was hit by a Toyota Dyna and died instantly. His body was trapped under the vehicle that hit him, and it took at least 40 minutes before his body was removed. Separate police investigations are being conducted into individual offences. Thakla Gunga, National EMTV News.
The Australian government has expressed serious concerns over the new PNG rice policy. This follows PNG government plans to provide an 80% quota to rice importer Naima Agro Innovative Industry Limited. Australian Trade Minister Stephen Chobo said a quota system would be inconsistent with PNG's obligation as a member of the World Trade Organization. PNG's Trade, Commerce and Industry Minister Richard Maru will be advising the Prime Minister and the NEC before responding to the concerns of the Australian government. Maru said the concerns raised by Australia are of a serious nature. The government will pay a total of 35 million kina to PDL1 and PDL7 landowners in the PNG LNG project next week Friday. This follows the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the state and landowners recently at the Hides 4 camp in Como. The MOU also paves way for landowners to remove barricades in the wellhead areas and for normal operations by developer ExxonMobil.
After giving the state a 30-day deadline to address outstanding issues, a common understanding was established by the state team and landowners in the PDL1 and 7 area of the PNG LNG project. The consultation and discussions between landowners, MRDC, Kumul Petrom and Department of Petroleum and Energy resulted in the formation of a memorandum of understanding for a way forward in addressing concerns raised by the resource owners.
And this is an understanding between the state and us. So we are here to witness the signing of the understanding that we have with them.
This signing by the state and landowners will see 35 million kina paid to the PDL1 and 7. PDL1 will receive 20 million kina while PDL7 15 million kina. Petroleum and Energy Minister Nixon Duban clarified that the payments come under the 2016 IDG fund grants as presented in the petition by landowners. The MOU also paves way for the clan vetting process to speed up the identification of clans in the affected area of the project so other benefits can be paid in due course.
In some of 30 days, people must get all the CUP arranged, all the municipal determination done, all ILC done, and then people will MRPC will open accounts, will open it.
Landowners have assured the state and developer to remove blockades in the wellheads and call on the state to honor the MOU. Leader Handy Amaga said the landowners did a peaceful protest for the basic need of bringing the much-needed services to the communities by accessing the delayed benefits held back by the state.
This one funnel, last and final, so that we can address all the issues within the set time frame, 30 days.
PDL1 landowner and businessman Larry Andagali thanked the government for responding, however called on all parties to learn from this mistake and move forward for the good of all stakeholders in the multi-million project.
Money must come here now, people yet was it on now. Bamboo Billiam Health Center, Bamboo Billiam Housing, water supply, sewage system, sanitation, you know, all the health issues now, all the programs were people in upload.
The 35 million kina will be paid to MRDC and parked under the Como Special Purpose Authority. Minister Duban, Petroleum and Energy Secretary David Manau, MRDC Managing Director Agustin Manok, and Kumul Petroleum Managing Director Wapu Song will return next week Friday to Heights to present the IDG funds to the landowners. Jack Lapave Jr., National MTV News.
You're with National MTV News. Looking after a legacy in the RPNGC and more when we come back. Stay with us. Welcome back to the news. After a few years in hibernation, an esteemed foundation which provides assistance for funeral expenses and educational benefit for children of police officers who are killed or die while serving has bounced back with a successful night of fun raising much needed funds. Last night, the Royal Papua New Guinea Constabulary Legacy joined hands with several business houses, NGOs and Good Samaritans in a charity auction to raise over 200,000 kina.
Established in 1987, the Legacy is a non-profit organization wholly owned by contributing members of the RPNGC who contribute 2 kina fortnightly from their salaries and funded through sponsors and fundraising activities. The Legacy has a total of 31 beneficiaries receiving educational assistance in different forms from fees to school supplies. However, Grand Chief Sir Michael Ogio, who is patron of the Legacy, in his keynote speech highlighted that the Legacy not only ensures financial support for those who lost their fathers during service, but acknowledges the educational challenges of non-members as well.
This can only be achieved when all policemen and women are informed about police legacy and the opportunity to join. It is for this reason that we gathered here tonight. At this point in time, I take this opportunity to acknowledge sponsors and supporters for your generous contribution towards the police legacy.
Various items were donated by local business houses, Indo Market, ISAS and Air Niugini, ranging from airline tickets to fishing gears, motorcycles, cookery sets, mobile phones and TV screens. Went up for auction at the Crown Plaza Ballroom and were quickly snapped up by sponsors and avid supporters, much to the appreciation of the Legacy President, Ambassador Graham Inui. The evening was a success with the inclusion of former Legacy Director and Secretary Peter White as the newly appointed figure in charge of fundraising. The former RPNGC Chief Inspector enthused the room with his good-natured antics as the auctioneer for the evening. With all 30 tables sold out with pledges from sponsors and the auction itself, the Legacy raised a total amount of 205,600 kina and hopes the charity auction will become the signature annual fundraiser for the cause. Vanessa Knight, National EMTV News.
The Evangelical Lutheran Church in Huon Gulf ended the week-long conference on Friday. 15 parishes of ELC PNG from Salamaua district presented request submissions to Governor Kelly Naru during the closing ceremony. One of these was a submission made to help renovate the Salamaua station.
15 parishes from the Evangelical Lutheran Church of Malalo Seket in Salamaua ended the week-long conference yesterday. The conference was for the ELC members to collaborate and discuss on biblical principles in order to help sustain their spiritual lives. The Malalo Seket president, Matage Nada, said the conference was open for the public to join. During the closing ceremony, Malalo Seket made a submission of requests to Moresby Governor Kelly Naru, who attended with other delegates. 3 submissions were given, and one of these is a request to Moresby provincial government to assist in renovating Salamaua Mission Station.
So maybe like renovating again, so and one submission maybe like game long. Governor
Naru said the state and church partnership program, since its inception in 2013, has worked well for the province. Naru made a response to the submissions following this.
We have also accepted that that's a worthwhile project that we can reactivate under the Churches Partnership Program. Also, again, as and when funds become available, we will assist them to renovate and rebuild the Malalo Lutheran Seket Station.
Julie Badui Owa, National EMTV News, Ley.
Turning overseas now, and Polish treasure hunters doubt there is any chance of finding a Nazi-era train rumored to have gone missing in the 1940s. Excavation efforts so far have failed to prove it even exists.
Myth has it the train, coined by Polish media as the Gold Train, was carrying jewels and guns looted by the Nazis ahead of advancing Soviet forces and buried in a tunnel in the lower Silesia region in 1945. Last year, treasure hunters Andreas Richer and Piotr Koper said they had located the train buried underground. Recent work on the excavation site using ground-penetrating radar, or GPR, failed to locate the train. Earlier arc-shaped images produced by the device, believed to have been the train, turned out to be stones. On Tuesday, treasure hunters led a team of explorers at 3 separate locations inside a fenced-off area in the district of Wałbrzych. As co-owners of the mine exploration company, Richer and Copper managed to secure permission to dig. In a separate study by AGH University of Science and Technology in Krakow, the train was unlikely to be buried at the location they suggested. Richer said he was no longer 100% sure they would find the mystery train, but said they were not ready to give up. Fellow treasure hunter Copper seemed far more optimistic about its existence. Workers on the project will continue drilling on Monday until they reach 20 meters below ground level. Melissa Gaviro, EMTV World News.
An explosion at a wedding in southeastern Turkey has killed 30 people and injured 94 others. The blast occurred last night in the city of Gaziantep, located about 95 kilometers north of the war-torn Syrian city of Aleppo. Authorities called the incident a terror attack and said it took place in the Akdere neighborhood of the Sahin Bey district.
Authorities added that the wedding celebration took place on a street, which is common in southern Turkey. Video of the aftermath shows hundreds of people in the darkened street as rescue workers lift victims into ambulances. No group has claimed responsibility for an attack, and no confirmed details on what caused the explosion were immediately available. However, it is believed that the blast may be the work of a suicide bomber. Turkey has experienced significant turmoil in recent months, with the attempted military coup in July and a series of deadly explosions. Past attacks, including suicide bombing, have been carried out by ISIS, which controls northern Syria across the border, and the PKK. In the most brazen attack, 44 people were killed in July by suspected ISIS suicide bombers at Istanbul Ataturk Airport. Last March, 2 suicide bombers killed at least 40 people in Ankara, the capital. A Kurdish rebel group claimed responsibility for that attack. On August 10, 2 explosions killed at least 8 people in the southeastern towns of Kiziltepe and Diyarbakir. Initial assessments indicate Kurdish militants were behind both attacks, a government official said. Melissa Goviro, EMTV World News.
You're watching National EMTV News. PNG's last Olympic athlete bows out of competition. Up next in Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Papua New Guinea's Samantha Kasman lost her fight against a top-ranked opponent in Bianca Wogden of Great Britain, who had considerably more experience, having won the 2015 World Championships. A chance for Samantha to fight again later in the day through the repechage did not eventuate, as her opponent, Bianca Wogden, lost in the semi-finals to Chinese fighter Shuyan Zheng, who ended up winning the gold in the over 67 kg division. Samantha was the last of the Team PNG athletes to compete at the Rio 2016 Olympic Games. To rugby league, weak defence and ball handling were some areas that were a letdown for the Papua New Guinea Hunters in this afternoon's match with Northern Pride at Barlow Park. Hunters suffered an embarrassing loss 40-16 to the Pride. Pride had a comfortable lead at half-time, leading 20-10, and maintained their lead in the second half. They will play their last season proper match next week at the National Football Stadium with Sunshine Coast Falcons. That's coming up next weekend. And that ends Trukai Sports. We'll have for you the weather details up next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
Here's a quick look at the weather for the next 24 hours in the southern region. Port Moresby, fine and cool with a top temperature of 30 degrees.
Details are proudly brought to you by Dulux Weather Shield. Worth doing with Dulux.
And that has been the news, sports and weather this Sunday, the 21st of August 2016. On behalf of the news team, have a pleasant working week. Good night.